Hi, Adam, Tracy, Alina, and Beth. I'm Mrs. Smith. I teach at Westbrook Middle School, and I've known Miss Cody for a very long time, since we were 10 years old and in fifth grade band. And when I started in fifth grade, I started playing the flute. And so flute was the instrument that I have played the most. Like Miss Cody, I had to teach everything, but flute is kind of my instrument, and it's the one that I know the most about. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips on the flute, and then hopefully we'll be able to spend a day together in December and work on a few of these things live and in person. So Miss Cody sent me a lovely recording of you guys working on your Christmas music for your concert on December 4th, and it's going to be awesome. So a few of the things that I'm going to do with you today will help with your next couple of lessons that should help those pieces to get even better. So I have my flute here. My flute is a little bit different than yours. One thing you'll notice about my flute is that it has holes in it. This is actually my third flute. So the first flute that I had, much like yours, did not have the holes in it. Sorry, I just banged it on my stand. And you'll also notice that the foot joint has an extra key. So this is something that you would see in an intermediate flute or a professional model flute. So when I had my student flute, it looked just like yours. And I got my intermediate flute when I was in high school, and then this one I got in college because I was doing a lot of playing and I needed some pretty specific things about my flute. But the head joint and the sound of my flute is going to be the same as yours. We're going to actually start with our head joints, and I know you guys do this a lot, but I find with all of my flute players, even my older students, that this is where all of your good sound comes from. So if we work on this a lot, we get better sounds, we get more in tune sounds, we get sounds that are going to make our playing on the entire flute much, much, much better. So we'll start with this. So I'm going to teach you, and I know that you've gone over this before, I'm going to teach you two different sounds that you can work on with your own practice. The first one is just blowing straight across but not covering the end here. It is very important that you get a very specific note out of this because that will help your flute to actually play in tune. You could get a whole bunch of different notes on this. You can actually have too much of the hole covered by your lip and you get this kind of a sound. Or you could have not enough of the hole covered and you get this kind of a sound. So the idea is that your lower lip is actually going to touch right here. Hey, check out my Thanksgiving nails. Aren't they fun? There's a turkey on my thumb. Turkey! So you want your lip to be right here on the edge. You should feel it on your bottom lip. So I'm going to try to get this camera to actually show you how much of it is covered. It's just a teeny little bit of the side, but I can feel the edge of that hole right on my lip. So I am blowing across, but some of my sound is going into the flute too. So that's a little bit tricky to adjust on your own, but you want to get this sound. And you want to try to be able to hold it for a while. So you want to get your lips closer together. And if you're doing this video with me, let's try it together. I'll count to 4, and then I want you to play for 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3. Do it again. Rest. 2, 3. Do it again. And having that sound be as close to my sound as possible is going to tell your lip that it's playing in the right place. All right, next tone. I call this one low tone, so I'm actually going to cover the end of the head joint with the palm of my hand completely. And this sound is going to help you with sounds that are lower than the note C. So if you're going C, B flat, A, below that, this will help those sounds to be in tune. Same lip spot. That one is a little bit harder to get because sometimes flute players get this sound. Your lips are too close together. So you want to check and see that your lips are far enough apart. practice that together. 1, 2, ready. Rest. 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3. Now try to memorize what that feeling is on your lip. You're going to need to try to go for that again after your flute is together. All right, so flutes together. Don't put your flutes together all the way, and I know Miss Cody has reminded you about this one. It's very hard to see with my flute because my flute is solid silver, so the inside part is silver too. There is a very, very faint line. Oh my goodness, the camera can't even see it at all. It's about, oh, maybe the back side you can see. See that line right there? There's a line here and then here. So my flute is not pushed in all the way. This would be, if this part of the flute was here, then it would be pushed in all the way. It's a very, very, very small amount. I would say a 1/2 inch. That's usually a good place to start. Now you want to make sure that your lineup is really good. So you have to have that tone hole of your head joint in a straight line with the first finger key. And to double check, I often look down my flute, close one eye, and look back and forth between the first finger key and the hole. They have to be in a wicked straight line. Because if you play your flute and you find your fingers to be tilted this way or too much this way, then your head joint is not going to be in tune, and then the whole flute won't play in tune. So this is a really, really easy way to check to make sure that you are in the right spot. So we're going to start with the note B flat. And let's just see if we can match our B flats. Check your fingers and make sure that your fingers are not tilted towards the floor or back towards your body. You want those keys to be facing upright towards the ceiling. Okay. B flat. Ready, 2, 3. Rest, 2, 3. Rest, 2, 3. Okay, now the next thing we want to check for tuning is a C. So a C will automatically tell you if you're playing in the correct spot on the head joint or not, because C is not a note that uses a lot of keys. So C is only going to play in tune when your lip is in the correct spot. Here's what C should sound like. Rest, 2, 3. Rest, 2, 3. And the other note that I really like to check is E flat. And you're going to use a lot of E flat in your song. So E flat is a nice note to see if we're playing in tune. Rest, 2, 3. Two, 3. And then you could actually try the first 4 notes of your song together and see if you're playing these notes in tune. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you could maybe try the first 2 measures. I'm trying to keep my air going the whole time, which is a whole nother lesson that we could do together, but that will really help to make sure that you are using enough air but not too much, and that your sound is a really, really nice quality sound, which is a lot easier to tune. So hopefully these tips help you guys. I know Miss Cody has done a ton of this with you guys already, so you're hearing it from somebody else, but we say the same things often. So thanks. I will see you guys soon, and good luck on your concert.